are getting updates with mayors around the Golden Horseshoe, and this morning it's Hamilton Mayor Andrea Horwath's turn. You're going to be at a meeting tonight that we've been talking about all morning. It's for the tiny shelters proposal, and this is a community meeting for a project that is going ahead.
Yes, that's what it is. It's a time for the proponents of the project, the pilot project, to meet with the community, to explain what the project's all about, what it looks like, what the goals are, and to answer questions that people in community might have about hats.
And this is kind of an artist rendering here of what it's going to be. This is going to go along Strachan Street, which is kind of near the entrance to Bayfront Park here. So a number of, and again, these are temporary shelters,
yes.
But a private space where people can go with a hub that has a kitchen and most importantly has washroom facilities.
Washroom facilities, shower facilities,
laundry,
heat.
Yeah,
it's really it's a way to give people more dignity than living in a tent. And it is a pilot project and it is temporary housing. And I think we all would agree that the solution to people who are unhoused is housing, but housing that's affordable and housing that comes with the kinds of supports necessary to help people transition from living rough to actually living in a unit. And some folks, that's quite a transition.
And this isn't going to be the be all and end all of things, but it's a small step forward.
It's one small tool, and we are doing all kinds of different things to try to address the needs of people who are living unhoused in our community. And it's not just Hamilton; it's everywhere. There are encampments and people unhoused in communities from one end of the province to the other, one end of the country to the other, and it's a crisis that will not be resolved by municipalities alone. We cannot go it alone. We've been very, very clear with the other orders of government, as has every municipality, that we need their help, both in terms of capital, but importantly also in terms of operating. And when I say operating, I mean, for example, supportive housing means housing that, yes, is a structure, but it also has social workers, it also has mental health workers, it also has people that help with things like making sure your social assistance or your disability supports are in place and are not going to be lost or cut off or anything like that. So there's a lot to it. The municipality can't afford those kinds of supports. It's not our role and responsibility. It's a provincial responsibility. So we're asking the province, and you know that we've been asking the feds about helping with the refugees and the folks that are coming in from other parts of the world in crisis. We've got an ask in for them as well, because those supports are their responsibility. So it is definitely a matter of all three orders of government, and we're getting some traction in terms of they're hearing us. What we need, though, is some financial support. Yeah, we need some doing.
And you're getting lots of complaints, I can imagine, too, from constituents who are like, okay, what's happened to my park? What's happened to the public spaces? So encampment protocols, how is that working?
Well, I'm glad you asked, and I want to start by saying I really totally understand where people are at and how frustrated people are and how worried people are about what's happening in our community, and I'm just as worried. And so the encampment protocols are a way to try to provide a human rights-based approach while still maintaining parks that are and public spaces, not just parks, public spaces that are safe and usable for everyone. So the protocols really just started about a week and a half ago, and they're rolling out. They're rolling out through the city. Of course, we don't have the capacity to do every single public space at once in terms of the enforcement of protocols, but thus far we're managing through, and there is a way to call the city if there's something that you have a concern about or complaint. We are so far successfully moving people without heavy-handed enforcement processes, but those are available to us if necessary. Thus far, we have not had to use that.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, moving to where?
Well, this is another issue, and that's why I started with the housing piece, because really there is not a lot of space for people, and as we know, our shelter system is overwhelmed, and so then as a municipality, you have a decision to make. Do we plow more money into more shelters, knowing that that's not the solution, or do we utilize the fiscal capacity, financial ability to begin investing in the permanent solutions, which is what our council has decided is the better way to go.
Okay, so that meeting is tonight at Bennetto Community Centre in North Hamilton. You will be there, as well as the people behind HATS, the Hamilton's Tiny Shelters project. Thanks very much
Thank you
for coming in, and we'll have more Morning Live right after this.